Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of the 3D platformer game. On this episode we're going to go through how to create an enemy. So by the end of the episode you should have some enemies that look just like this. They're going to go back and forth on a path that we will create. The path will be very simple. Target 1 and target 2. The target 1 will always be on your enemy's current position. So, let's get started. So the first thing you're going to want to do is create a small cube. You can resize this cube to whatever size you want. So I'm going to have mine about that big. So after this, you've already got a box collider. This will act as the primary collider. We're going to add another one. And this will be the trigger. So we want to enable that. And we're going to want to set this to about 1.2 the whole way around. Now, the next thing that we're going to want to do is create an empty object and call this enemy. Now what this enemy will do is it will hold our script and our rigid body, which gives it gravity. You want to freeze the rotation on the X, Y, Z, and the position on the Z axis. So let's get to it. And that's all for the rigid body. The next thing that we're going to want to do is add an empty object and name that path. Bring that out of enemy, if it let me. So what this game object is going to do, this is going to be a holder for all of the enemy's targets. Let's add an empty game object and name this target 1. You're going to want to put the brackets with the 1 exactly like so. So then when we click duplicate, we'll go target 1, target 2 straight away. After that, reposition your target to wherever you want. I'm positioning mine right here. The next thing that we're going to want to do is create a new game object and call this small enemy. Well, let's call him big enemy, as he is a lot bigger. We're going to want to position both of these objects inside of the big enemy object. Now, once this is created, let's start on our script. So you're going to want to add a new script and call this enemy pathfinding, like so. And what this script should look like inside is this. So everything else has been left untouched, and the only thing that we need to do is this one. To start off, we're going to get a public float and call that speed. This is going to be the speed of the agent. The next one is going to be a public float called stopping distance. This is how far the agent will actually stop from its target before changing onto a new target. Here, we're going to add a private list and call that targets. Then we're going to have a private int and call that target. So this will be the current target that our agent is on. In the start void, we're going to want to put the target equal to 0 so that it finds position 0 on the list. And then we're going to want to go through a for loop and fetch all of the targets out of our target, out of our path game object. So it's going to fetch these two. Within our update function, we're going to make an if statement, and this if statement is going to say if target is equal to targets.count. So if it is equal to the maximum amount in that list, let's reset the target to 0. Then we're going to transform the enemy's position, and we're going to make a move towards the target position at the speed times time.delta time. Then we're going to always be calculating the distance between the target and the enemy's position. So if the distance is lower than or equal to the stopping distance, the target will change. And that's our script. That is literally all we need. I have thought about adding a nav mesh, however, for this type of game, we really don't need a nav mesh whatsoever. The fact is these enemies are not the only enemies that we want to add to our game. We're going to have flying enemies. We're going to make these guys do little quirks, and yeah, we're going to have loads more enemies doing different things, so we really don't need a nav mesh. So that's it for this episode. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys don't like the way I'm currently doing my scripts, and you know, if you want me to actually do my script, like type it out like episode 3, just tell me in the comments. I really appreciate any feedback and any constructive criticism. So thank you again, and I hope you guys liked the video.